As he got closer, he saw that something was buried. Both his mom and dad thought that he probably killed an animal, someone's chicken, someone's goat, and probably hid it there. So they decided to dig up whatever was buried there. Ishmael's dad was sleeping. All he can hear was his wife yelling, trying to wake him up. And when he did, what she said shook him. She said, "Your son is dead."
Let's go the intro.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Twist the Story.
And according to court documents,
organized crime is
that student survived the attack.
Criminals have become more brazen than ever before.
and her 2 children.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to Twist the Story. If you're new here, this is a channel about true crime including murder cases, assault cases, any criminal case that you can think of, we cover it here. So if you have any case in mind that you want to hear about it, you can drop it down in the comment box below and we will do the research and get to present it on the channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. If you're not new here, you can notice that the voice is different. I've not been feeling well the past couple of days. I caught a cold, so I'm recovering from it. Thank God I'm feeling better. So all I'm doing is waiting for my voice to get back to normal, to my normal voice. So don't get used to this voice, because next week, God willing, next week, it's gonna sound different. Anyway, let's get into today's case. So, when you were 15 and 18 years old, what were some of the things that you were interested in? Some of the things that you were dreaming of having? Well, most 15, 18 years old was probably thinking of how many friends they have, who they can play with, what they're going to do after school. If I remember correctly, when I was 15 means I was in grade 10. So in Ghana, that would be SS1. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, you can correct me down in the comment box below. So grade 10, I was probably thinking of if the people in my class are going to like me, if I'm going to get along with the people in my class. Probably a new semester, who's going to be in my class, who am I going to sit next to, what am I going to do after school? Am I going to track rehearsal, or am I going to play with friends, hang out with friends? I think as a 15-year-old, not much that you want, just a comfortable making friends. Because you don't have to worry about money, your parents are there. You don't have to worry about food, your parents are supplying it. So I guess as a kid, not much that you wish for. And at 18 years old, 18 is, we were probably in grade 12, getting ready to go to college, or probably getting ready to enter college. I remember those days. I was just excited to start college because I was going to leave at the dorm, get away from my parents. But yeah, it was an exciting moment. I didn't have to worry about anything, just worry about getting into college or getting into class and passing my classes. Those are what 15 and 18-year-olds worry about. I think most people had pretty much similar experience. When I was in Ghana, I wasn't 15. I think I was close to 15, 12, 13 years old. I think all you have to worry about is you wake up in the morning, your lunch has been prepared for you to take to school. Breakfast is ready, so you just have to get dressed, eat breakfast, pick up your lunch, and then go to school, and come back from school, eat, study, and then go to bed. You don't have to worry about anything else. Those are your responsibilities and your priorities, right? But with this case, it's different and it's shocking because this crime is very gruesome. So this is the case of the Kasoa Ritual killings. This case involves 3 kids, and since their ages are within the juvenile age, their name and their face are supposed to be blurred out of the media. However, for whatever reason, you can find them online. So I'm just going to go by the first name for the suspect, and then I can mention the victim's name. So this case involved Felix, Nicholas, and Ishmael Mensah, who is the victim. These 3 kids grew up together in the same area, Kasoa in the central region. The 2 boys, Felix and Nicholas, are the older boys. Felix is 15 years old and Nicholas is 18 years old. And Ishmael is 10 years old. So pretty much Felix and Nicholas saw Ishmael being born and brought home as a newborn baby. They might have been kids themselves, but they pretty much saw him as a baby. And as he's growing up, he has been friends with them because they are his older brother's friends. So he pretty much plays with them all the time. And he considered them his older brothers. And everybody in the neighborhood know that Ishmael and these 2 boys play together all the time and consider them brothers, even her mother. So in Ghana, when you're kids and you have friends in the neighborhood, after school you can go play with them, playing at the back. And then when your parents are done cooking, whoever's parents is done cooking first will probably call the kids in, dish out the food in one bowl, and the kids can probably sit around and eat it. I remember that because when I was a kid, I had a friend in my neighborhood who lived right behind our house. So we would go play, and when my grandma was done cooking, she would call us, and then she would dish out food, and then we would eat together, talk, It's a fun experience. So pretty much that's the experience that Felix, Nicholas, and Ishmael had. One of the boys, Felix, was watching TV and flipping through the channels. And he came upon a couple of channels that was showing about spiritualists and malams and them promising how to get rich easily and quick. This idea went into Felix's head. So he met up with the other guy, Nicholas, to discuss this idea. Upon meeting Nicholas, Felix told him this idea that he had in his mind of getting rich quick and fast, getting money as fast as he can. Which is a very weird idea for a 15-year-old to have, because as I mentioned at the beginning, a 15-year-old, you're not worried about money. You're just worried about friends and making your way to college and things like that. So it's a very interesting thing for a 15-year-old to want. That getting money easy or getting rich easy is not something new in Ghana. There's something called blood money, which most Ghanaians know about. It's pretty much a term used for getting rich easy through spiritualists and rituals. And some of the spiritualists will request human blood, animals, money, and a bit of a weird thing from your part so that they can get this blood money going. So it's not a new thing. However, I guess it's taken on to TV. Upon telling Nicholas expressed an interest in it and told Felix that he knows of a spiritualist in the Volta region. So he gave the contact for the spiritualist to Felix to call because Nicholas himself didn't have any phone to make this contact. However, Felix's mom have a phone, so he took the number and made contact with the spiritualist. So Volta region have some of the most beautiful and attractive tourist attractions in Ghana, and probably some of the most nicest people in Ghana. However, Volta region is also known to be the center of some of the rituals and voodooism practice in Ghana. So for the boys to be able to have the courage and not be scared to go to Volta region for this ritual, it's a bit interesting, because if I was a 15-year-old, I won't want to step into the place where most of the rituals are held. You have to have a very strong relationship with God to step into that. It's a bit interesting that the boys thought of that place. Upon making contact with the spiritualist requested 5,000 Ghana cedi and a human sacrifice. So Felix went back and discussed this with Nicholas, and the original idea was to kidnap Ishmael and then request a ransom from Ishmael's parents of 5,000 so that they can use that to pay off the spiritualist. However, this plot got aborted for reason unknown to us. On April 2nd, 2021, Ishmael gave his dad a call. His father is working away in Otu region for work, so he's been away from the family for a while. So Ishmael gave his dad a call telling him how much he misses him and how he wants him home as soon as possible. After this call, his dad just couldn't wait and decided to jump on the next bus that Saturday morning to come back home to the family. So his dad headed out early in the early mornings on Saturday. So he got home pretty around 6 a.m. And when he got home, he got the big hug from Ishmael. Ishmael's mom made breakfast. He made eggs and some Milo, I guess hot chocolate. Can you consider Milo hot chocolate? Well, up to you. So he made some eggs for the family. They sat down, they ate, they talked a little bit. However, since the dad left early in the late mornings, Saturday morning, so he had to rest. So he told Ishmael he's going to go sleep, have a couple hours of rest, and then he's going to wake up and then hang out with his son. So his dad decided to go to bed, and Ishmael was in the process of taking a shower. However, one of his friends, Felix, came over and told him about a new video game that their other friend, Nicholas, had. Ishmael, being a 10-year-old boy, got excited for this game and couldn't wait for after shower to go play this game, and decided to go with his friend right away instead of going to take a shower. So Ishmael followed Felix into an uncompleted building, thinking they were going there to meet Nicholas. Which was true. They were going there to meet Nicholas because Nicholas was there in that uncompleted building, hiding at a corner with a club. As Felix and Ishmael was walking by, they got to a place where Nicholas was standing, and Ishmael asked about the new video game. He pointed down and said that it was down there. As Ishmael turned and bent down to pick up the new video game, his friends, Felix and Nicholas, started attacking him and hitting him with a club and some bricks. As they were hitting Ishmael with the club and bricks, his last words were, "You that are my good friends, why are you doing this to me? What have I done wrong?" But this did not shake or change the minds of these two teenagers. They kept attacking him until Ishmael couldn't move. They thought that he was dead. However, Ishmael was not dead. They started digging up a grave to put Ishmael in so that they can come back later in the night and take his body to Volta region for the rituals. As they were digging, they realized that Ishmael was not dead. But they didn't stop digging. They continued digging and put his body into the grave so that they can come back later. So in hindsight, they pretty much buried him alive, with sun in his nose, probably struggling for air, but all that he could get was sun. The two teenagers went about their business. Felix's mom, who was away fetching water at that time, came back but couldn't find Felix. So she went around looking for Felix, and Felix's younger sister pointed her into the uncompleted building because she saw him and Nicholas a couple minutes ago in that building. So the mother made his way to the uncompleted building looking for his son. And as he was looking for his son, he noticed something weird on the ground. So she ran out and went and called Felix's dad. She went in there and told him that something looked weird in the uncompleted building and that she wants him to come take a look. So he got up and also went into the uncompleted building. They both went there and they saw the same weird thing, which was a grave being dug. But at that time, they didn't know that. So Felix's dad decided to go closer so that he can get a closer look. As he got closer, he saw that something was buried there. Both his mom and dad thought that he probably killed an animal, someone's chicken, someone's goat, and probably hid it there. So they decided to dig up whatever was buried there. As they were digging, they realized it wasn't an animal. It was Ishmael. This shocked Felix's mom. It shocked his dad. So the father gathered both Felix and Nicholas and took them to Ishmael's house so that they themselves can go tell Ishmael's dad what was happening, what they did to his son. Ishmael's dad was sleeping. He probably took a couple hours because at this time it was 10 a.m. All he can hear was his wife yelling, trying to wake him up. And when he did, what she said shook him. She said, "Your son is dead." And he was like, "No way. I just saw him. We just talked. He just gave me a hug. He welcomed me back home. That's not possible." But he rushed out anyways. He rushed out to see what's happening. And he rushed to the uncompleted building to see his son lying there lifeless because he has been dug out of the grave. So they put him on the ground outside the uncompleted building, just lying there. A couple minutes ago, he was given the warmest hug. He was just smiling, jumping up and down. And the next minute, he was not moving. The day that was supposed to be one of the happiest days for the dad because he's back home with the family turned out to be a tragic day for him. But one can imagine what will motivate a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old to kill their own friend, their own little brother, someone they've eaten in the same bowl with, probably sleep on the same bed with. What could motivate them? Is it the culture and the norm in the country to get money easily and quick that even young kids, young teenagers are also dreaming about it at the age of 15? Or is it the TV station putting out content that are not good and educative for our young ones? I was in Ghana not that recently, and while I was in Ghana, I was flipping through the channel because I remember way back when I was a kid, they used to have African movies back to back, TV series back to back. So I was flipping through the channel hoping that I would come across some movie or some TV show to watch with my family and my friends. But almost every channel that we turned on, there was some spiritual show, Malam show going on the TV. So imagine if you have a young child who is back from school. It's probably Friday night, so they don't have to go to school the next day. So you decide to give them a break and tell them, go watch TV for a couple minutes before bedtime. And they go and they turn the TV on. What channel is your kid watching? Most likely, it's probably one of those channels showing spiritual rituals and malam shows talking about getting money quick and easy. So the chances of your child watching this show is pretty high. So the question is, who is to blame and who can correct this issue in the country? I believe that it's the job of the NCA, the National Communication Authority's job, to review and make sure that what's being put out is good for kids and it's right and educative for kids. But up to now, there's still spiritualists, malam, and rituals being shown on TV about getting money quick, which is a bit scary. So Felix and Nicholas were arrested that same day they committed the crime and was sent to the Kasoa police station. The Kasoa police station investigated this case and was brought to court. However, in 2021, one of the juries for the case did not appear in court, so it was pushed and postponed. And they were also trying to find the right age for the two boys at the time of the crime. And it was concluded that one was 16 and one was 18. These two ages fall under the Juvenile Act of 2003, falls into the Juvenile Act of 2003. And it states right here, let me read it. The Juvenile Act 2003, Act 653 states that a young offender means a person who is 18 years or above 18 years, but is under 21 years. So if the crime happened, if they were under 21 years, they fall under the Juvenile Act of 2003. So because of that, if these two boys are found guilty, the maximum sentence that they can get is 3 years. Which is sad because when they interview Ishmael's father, he said the only thing that he wants is for these boys to be in prison for life. Which is understandable for a father that lost his son to want a life imprisonment for his killers. This case is tragic because 10 years he had a future ahead, but it was cut short because of greed, because of two teenagers that was influenced and inspired by what they watched on TV. So it's a very sad case. As the judge was reading the accounts of this case, she couldn't help but shed a tear. That's how much you can see that this case is very gruesome and unpredictable from two teenage boys. Even though this case happened in 2021, because of the investigation and also the jury not appearing, the case keep getting pushed back. So as of now, it's still in court and they are still hearing the witnesses and the testimonies of others. So we will keep you updated if there's any change and when the verdict and the sentencing come out. Ishmael Mensah was 10 years old. He was in class 4 at the Maranatha School. When his teacher was interviewed, he said Ishmael was very smart and very nice to his classmates. When the neighbors were interviewed, they mentioned that Ishmael was very friendly and very nice to everyone in the neighborhood. And he died when he was 10 years old. This is the case of the Kasoa Ritual. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video.